Oui, oui, it is me, Young Pasty, here to break down UFC Paris. How we doing, everybody? Young Pasty back again. We're breaking down UFC Fight Night Money Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis. This card is loaded. There are a bunch of good fights, and I'm super excited to break it down. We'll get to that here in a minute. Before we break down these, I do have to go over the last UFC card, UFC NOCHE. Our picks, we went 6 out of 10. Could have been better, could have been worse. Bets, lost half a unit. Again, could have been better, could have been worse. So we will recap that real quick, and then we'll head into the picks. I'm going to take these off for now. If we have any Frenchmen or French women that we pick, the Barez going back on. So, breaking down UFC 306 NOCHE. First fight, Rosas Jr. versus Erslan. I think I said that right. I know I fucked it up in the last video. What we expected, guys, was complete domination from Rosas Jr., and that's what we got for 3 rounds. So, nothing out of the ordinary happened there. That pick was right. Next fight, Joshua Van versus Edgar Charriere. We picked Joshua Van. He pulled out the win. That was a sketchy first round that he definitely lost, but fucked up Edgar in the next 2 rounds. So, nice pick there. Third fight, Yasmin Jarougi versus Ketlin Souza. We had Yasmin, and she got her ass knocked out. Now, I will say this. Run the tape back, okay? I said Ketlin Souza was a one-trick pony. What's her one trick? Knocking people out. And that happened. So I was wrong. Big underdog cash there if you were on the other side. Next fight, Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I would say the UFC experience really showed here. Ignacio weathered the violent storm of Manuel Torres that I expected he would get the knockout with or submission with. And Ignacio ended up doing it the other way. So we were wrong there. Then we went a little nice streak here. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. What do we expect? First off, what did I tell you guys in the last video? Irene Aldana is going to do this the whole fight, and that's what she did again. Unfortunately, some of those punches came through, and she had a huge cut. I thought that they were going to do a doctor stoppage, but they let her fight, and she was bleeding everywhere, dude. She had the bloodiest face in the world. But Norma ended up pulling that one out. That was a win for us. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. Mexican came through. Ronaldo Rodriguez, him and Rosas Jr. Those two were the only Mexicans that actually pulled through on the last card. So shouts to them. That was a good fight. I would say this next fight here was definitely fight of the night from UFC 306. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Our underdog came through. We cashed 2-1 underdog with Esteban. Wow, what a great fight. That had to have been fight. They were going back and forth. Hey, Zellhuber had a little more heart and fight than I thought, but Esteban had the more powerful punches and did more damage ultimately at the end of the day. Split decision for him, so he won. Our last win, Ortega versus Diego Lopez. This was definitely my most confident pick, and he came through. Diego Lopez is a stud. Give him a title shot. And then the championship fights. Grasso versus Shevchenko and O'Malley versus Merab. Dude, it was literally the same thing for both fights. It was pray and lay win for Valentina and Merab. They won the fight. They were boring. I wouldn't say it was impressive. Now I'm hearing Sean O'Malley fought with a torn labrum, that he didn't tear it in the fight, that he had a torn labrum going in before the fight versus Merab, which totally affects and makes sense as to why he was fighting the way he was. Still fucked up. Anyway, the bets. Lopez, Grasso, O'Malley, parlay lost. Champions didn't come through for us. O'Malley single bet lost. Lopez came through with the win. Torres single bet lost. Dumont came through with the win. The Van and Lopez parlay won. Ribovics parlay won, or Ribovics single won. And then the Torres, Dumont, and the long shot parlay lost. So After all of that, we did lose half a unit. Again, not too crazy in the picks, 6 out of the 10. So technically, we got more right than wrong. But really, man, those championship fights sucked and fucked us. So moving forward here, UFC Paris. So again, we're breaking down every single fight. I'll give you my pick and prediction for the fight. After all the fights are over, we'll move forward and I'll show you my bets here. I have all my bets locked in at certain numbers that I put in a couple days ago, so I do apologize if these lines have moved, but they may or may not be in your favor. But again, let's go to the first fight here. Let's get things started. We got Balaji Oki versus Chris Duncan. First off, I think this is a nice little banger to start the first fight off. I ran back some tape on some Balaji fights. I think he's a very patient kind of knockout striker. He can wrestle. I saw him do a couple takedowns and get people down to the ground. But Chris Duncan, man, I think his pressure and his power are going to be too much for Balaji. I think Balaji's too patient. Chris Duncan's not going to give him the patience that he needs to start fucking things up. Because you'll see, Balaji has some huge arms. He has some nice power. But Chris Duncan, run back his tape too. He has a nice knockout win, and he's got, I believe it was the Contender Series. And then a couple nice wins in the UFC. He lost Emmanuel Torres by submission. I don't think that Balaji has any wrestling threat at all, but I think Chris Duncan pulls this out. He is the underdog. So I'm starting this off with an underdog pick. Chris Duncan is the pick. Plus 180. What did I get him at? Plus 185. So again, these lines and odds move everywhere. But Chris Duncan is the pick. Next fight on the card. We got Nora Cornolle versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. We just saw Jacqueline fight, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Unfortunately, I picked against her and she ended up pulling out the win. I believe it was unanimous. It was unanimous or split. I forget. Let me check. Split over Nunez. Oh, yeah, and I had Nunez in that fight. Now, I believe Nora and Nunez have very similar traits and fight styles, but Nora is bigger and stronger, I believe. This is tough because I do like how Jacqueline fights, but I think she lost the last fight. I think that split decision should have went the other way. But what I tell you guys, every Frenchman or French woman, we're putting the beret back on, and that's what we're doing here. We got Nora Cornolle for the win. I think she's going to do the same thing that Nunez did in the last fight, except better, and end up actually winning the decision rather than losing it. So I got Nora Cornolle by decision. A prop to look at, over 2.5 rounds. They probably don't even have that. No, way too early for that. Something to look at, though, over 2.5 rounds on this fight. I don't see either of them doing a finish or sub. But the reason... 2 reasons that I really picked Cornolle in this fight is, number one, she's like a better version of Nunez, who I think really won the last fight. Secondly, Jacqueline, she just fought like 3 weeks ago. And third reason, hometown advantage for the French woman. She's going to come out, everyone's going to be screaming for her. I don't know if you guys saw the last UFC card last year in Paris, but every single hometown hero, every single person from France or around the area got huge cheers in support from the crowd. So we got Nora. Wow. 2 dogs to start this card off. This could be really good or really bad. Oh, man. Next fight. Wrong way. Daniel Barez versus Victor Altamirano. I've picked Victor a couple times in the past, and he's screwed me. And just for that reason, we're picking Daniel Barez. Actually, not just for that reason. I did run back some tape on Daniel Barez. This is going to be his first fight in the UFC, I believe. Let me double check. No, second. got subbed by this guy, but I don't see a sub threat from Victor. This guy's got power, man, and I love his fight style. He's like one of those short dudes that drives big trucks, right? But he can actually go out and fight somebody. Not one of them that, looks like that, pretends like they're tough and gets down scrawny as shit. We got Daniel Barez in the fight. He's got the pressure. He's got the power. Victor, you've let me down too many times for me to pick you again. And look, you're an underdog. You're an underdog in this fight. You kidding me? I just don't like Victor's style, man. Is he tough? Yeah. But I think Daniel Barez by knockout? Daniel Barez by knockout? Something to look at, for sure. The reason I'm pausing here is because I'm so pissed at Victor. He's fucked me over too many times. I had some nice fucking bets on people that he's fucked. Not doing it again. Victor, you're out of this shit. I hope you get fucking knocked out by Perez. Sorry, brother. Next fight on the card. All right. Daria Zhelezniakova versus Eileen Perez. The pick is Eileen Perez. This girl's a stud. Daria, sorry. You beat one person in the UFC and they were a scrub. You beat some... what was her name? Melissa Mullins? No, you lost to her and she's in the UFC. Who's this bitch? Montserrat Rendon? Unanimous decision. I believe I saw this fight. She did kind of slice her up a bit. But Eileen Perez is a stud, man. I believe she's on a 3-fight winning streak in the UFC. I'll beat Jocelyn Edwards. That's a pretty good competition there. All by decision. This is another fight that you could definitely, bet the over 2.5 rounds on. It's fucked me over in the past. But I think this might be a card I might run it back on. I don't know. We'll see. Eileen Perez is the pick. Honestly, she's a better striker. If she gets this shit to the ground, she's a better wrestler too. Daria can box. 2-inch reach advantage. I'm not worried about it. Age the same. Look at her. Look at Eileen Perez takedown advantage. 5.19. You kidding me? 5 takedowns a match. So not only do I think you're a better striker, you have a wrestling advantage too. Daria can't wrestle. I'm sorry. So Eileen Perez is the pick. And we move on to the next fight on the card. All right, we got Taylor Lapilus versus TBA. Now, this is TBA's UFC debut. Look at all their stats. They are stacked. They have absolutely zero fighting experience ever. They have no picture. That's because they don't exist. All right, I don't even know if this fight's going to happen. I do like Taylor Lapilus, but I don't know who's going to fight. So... if I had to make a pick, it would probably be Lapilus over whoever he's going to fight, because they're probably going to find some scrub last minute that's just willing to take a fight. At this point, we're a week away. I don't know. We'll find out if that fight even goes down or not. But I do like Taylor Lapilus. And we move forward. Next fight on the card, we got Ludovic Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. Come on now. I think Ludovic Klein's like a -700 favorite or something. But first off, dude's tough as shit and has a strong extreme power. Don't let this height difference here fool you. This Roosevelt Roberts, don't let this guy's record fool you either, right? He got kicked out of the UFC, bro. He came back and he lost twice. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. So, I mean, I would say this is a no bet. You really can't touch this. I mean, if you really want to put Ludovic Klein in a parlay or something, you could. I wouldn't hate you if you did it. I probably wouldn't do it myself because it's not going to add too much value for me. And you never, dude, it's the UFC. You never know. He could pull a crazy sub or not catch Klein. I mean, you never know. These are two men throwing fists in an octagon. You never know what could fucking happen. But Ludovic Klein's the pick, and we move on to the next fight. All right. We got Umar Sy versus Woon Jung. You know what we're doing here, guys. Umar Sy. He is the pick for this fight. Let me get my mustache on. You know why? You know why? Umar Sy is a fucking beast. First off, look at the reach advantage. Huge reach advantage. 5 inches. But this is a layup from my boy. Woon Jung is on a 3-fight losing streak, and he's on his way out in the UFC. He really needs to pull some fucking crazy shit off here to even be considered to be let back in. If he knocks out Umar Sy, I'd be super surprised, but it's going to be the other way around. Umar Sy by knockout. It's probably already super juiced already. The odds aren't even out, but when it comes out, it's probably going to be like a -200, -300. This fight's not going to last long. End in the first or second round. I expect Umar Sy complete dominance over Woon Jung. I really expect a knockout. Expect a knockout. If it's not a knockout, then it'll be 3 rounds of extreme ground and pound wrestling. I don't see this fight ending going too long. I don't see this fight going too long. It's going to be a short fight. Nevertheless, Umar Sy and the Frenchman's the pick. We move on. Next fight on the card. The featured prelim. What a shitty featured prelim, I'll say that. Ion Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. This is Ivan Erslan's UFC debut. Ion Cutelaba is a boring-ass fighter he's very chinny. I ran back Ivan's tape. He gets a lot of knockouts on scrubs, but when he had a championship fight in his regional fight league, I don't even know what you fucking call it. I'm going to look it up right now. The KSW. He lost to this guy by decision and got fucked up for 5 rounds. Which I think is going to be his welcome to this UFC moment from Ion Cutelaba. What I expect from this fight is Ion Cutelaba to get Ivan to the ground and do some really boring pitter-patter strikes, just enough to keep him on the ground so the refs don't pop him back up. This is going to be a super boring fight unless Ivan can catch Elon Musk. I thought he was going to fight the Facebook guy, Zuckerberg. Never came to fruition. That's kind of lame. Anyway, off subject here. Eon's the pick. Again, I think it's going to be a boring fight unless Ivan catches him. It could be a knockout. Eon's super chinny, so. But it's either going to go. What I expect is Eon has too much UFC and fighting experience against higher competition that he'll be able to get Ivan on the ground and do that stupid pray and lay for 3 rounds. I think Ivan can have a chance if he gets a clean shot on Eon, but I think that's really his only chance. Pick is Ion Cutelaba, and we move on to the next fight. All right, we got Perez Ziam. Ooh, I probably said that wrong. Perez Ziam versus Matt Frevola. Where the fuck is this thing? Where is this thing? Oh. It's another Frenchman we got. We got Perez Ziam for the pick, and you know why? Matt Frevola is too crazy. I'll just say that. I think it's gonna. Matt Frevola makes stupid freaking decisions. He makes dumb decisions. And I've also ran back and seen Ferris's wins. And first off, the win versus Jai Herbert, very impressive. Very impressive because Jai Herbert's a beast. It's definitely going to go 3 rounds. Ferris has the reach advantage. Ferris is the hometown hero. He has the support and advantage of the crowd behind him. Matt Frevola is crazy. Okay? The thing with him is he's a good wrestler, and if he leaned on that, he actually could do good in fights, but he never uses it to his advantage, right? Fighter IQ. They talk about that all the time. His fighter IQ is out the window. I think he's been hit in the head too many times to really know what's going on. I got Ferris by decision. It's a pick'em right now. Look at that, -110, -110. So now, when the line's open, I believe Ferris was actually an underdog. Matt Frevola was a favorite. And the line's been moving ever since they dropped. But we got Ferris, Ziam in the pick. And look, guys. We're just going to leave. We're just going to leave the beret on. Next fight. Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. Now, I hate going against my Brazilians because I love my Brazilians. They're such great fighters usually. And don't let this record by my boy Morgan Charriere fool you. This dude's a beast, okay? This dude's a beast. His last fight, he fought with Chepe Mariscal, who's that dude's a beast. He can bring it. He won a hard-fought 3 rounds in which I thought he fucking won that fight, but he lost. I think he's the biggest favorite on the card. I think he's the biggest. No, Ludovic Klein is the biggest favorite. But damn, Charriere's moving up there to be so. But it's justified, right? This dude's a beast. He can bring it. Now Gabriel Miranda. Another case of fucking last fight like Edgar, dude. So it's like you get knocked out by Benoit Saint Denis. I'll give you a pass by that. But then you fucking beat shit competition. Sedong Young, right? Shane Young. Look at this dude's record. Oh my gosh. 4 straight loss. Yeah, see, it's tough. So it's tough to even judge this guy when you go up and lose against the best and you beat against the worst. So that's why I'm going with Morgan Charriere, because you don't really know the skill level of this Miranda guy. Maybe some props to look for. Maybe Miranda by sub. They're not out yet, but something to look at. Next fight on the card. Let me take this beret off because I'm proud to be an American. Brian Battle is the pick here, man. Brian Battle is the pick. Kevin Jousset, knockout artist. Knockout specialist. Brian Battle is on a really nice win streak. His last fight with some dude, what was his name? I'm checking right now. Lusa. Oh my gosh, was a fucking dud of a fight. A little tiny eye poke, right? Tiny eye poke. Lusa says he can't move on with the fight because he's been getting his ass whooped for the past 2 rounds. And then guess what? Fight ends. And then Brian Battle's talking shit as he leaves the ring. And then Lusa wants to fight again. Oh, now you're good to fight? Why were you good to fight fucking 2 minutes ago laying on... Like, that's the thing. He was fighting a bitch. But he's shown complete dominance in all of his fights. Kevin Jousset. Here, let's just peep his last fights as well. I told you he's a knockout specialist. Supposedly in his previous fights here. Knockout to May 26th in some Hex fight regional scene. Wow, he really hasn't had too many knockouts recently. He beat Song Kanan. I mean, that's okay competition. But you haven't been in the UFC long enough for me to... And Kiefer Crosby, meh. He's alright. Kevin Jousset's not proven enough for me to pick him. Brian Battle's the pick. These lines have been moving pretty bad too. Damn, -160. Dude, I think he just dropped at like... near pick'em. I think Brian Battle was at like -120 at one point. -120, -130. Anywho, next fight on the card. I'm going to have to leave the beret to the side again because we're going with Joe Anderson Brito. I haven't even said the introduction yet. William Gomis versus Joe Anderson Brito. But we got Joe Anderson Brito. You know I got my thing for Brazilians, but my dude's jacked. My dude's a beast. I've actually picked William Gomis in the past and cashed on him, but he does not have the advantage here. The pressure and the striking from Joe Anderson, the better wrestling advantage. Okay, look, he's a little bit 5'8", 4 inches taller. I'm not worried about it. You'll see that he makes it up. Will Gomis, he's real skinny. He's real skinny. Don't let that picture right there fool you. He must have got a good angle there or something. Joe Anderson's ripped. Joe Anderson has strength. There's a reason he's a minus 265 favorite. Okay, guys? Because he's a boss. He's a beast. He's going to whoop and he's going to pound and he's gonna win the fight. All right, the pick's Joe Anderson Brito. He might actually be one of my most confident picks on this card. This dude's an absolute monster, okay? Next fight on the card. Sorry, I didn't spend too much time on that or give Gomis too much light because when I'm confident in a pick, you guys just got to believe me. It was like with the last card, Diego Lopez. I really didn't spend too much time on that fight because I knew it was going to cash. Anyway, Joe Anderson Brito's the pick there. Next fight, Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. Boy, the beret, will we put it on? No. I'm not putting it on in this fight. Brendan Allen, the 2-1 underdog. Another, honestly, almost a confident pick. Is going to win this fight. Brendan Allen's going to win this fight. Nasruddin Imavov, you saw the last fight with Cannonier. He is a good striker. And in his last fights too, he's a good striker and he has power. But Brendan Allen's on another level, man. Brendan Allen's surging. Brendan Allen's on I believe a 5-fight win streak. 5. Oh man, it's longer. All in the UFC too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fucking wins straight. He's only lost twice in the UFC. Come on now, bro. All of these people have gone down and his... Oh. Look at his 2 losses. Strickland and Curtis came from the same camp. Probably had the same game plan there. And then he got his revenge and beat Chris Curtis last time. So, bro, Brendan Allen is the pick. Nasruddin Imavov, again, I think he's going to get gassed in the patient... Not gassed. I think he's just too patient. He might catch Brendan Allen, but Brendan Allen's a fierce competitor. He's got energy. He's gonna come out hot. You might see this end in 1 or 2 rounds. This is gonna be a really good fight. I'm really excited about this fight. It's real. Is this the co-main? Yeah, I'm glad. This almost could be a main event right here, to be honest with you. Because if Brendan Allen wins this fight, he's getting a fucking title shot. He's getting a fucking title shot. What's he ranked? I think he's ranked 5th. Why don't they tell me on ESPN? Anywho, he's getting a title shot after this if he wins. We got Brendan Allen by sub or by KO in under 1.5 rounds. I think those are good props to look at. But Brendan Allen is the pick with slight confidence. Probably more confidence than I believe. I did not like how Imavov was performing last fight, and that was an early stoppage on Cannonier's part. Okay? I'm just going to say it. Next fight, and the main event of the evening, we got Moicano, Renato Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis. Money Moicano, great on the mic. Benoit Saint Denis, a powerful knockout artist in the octagon. Renato's came through with some crazy stuff too. He's had some really great comebacks in the UFC when he's definitely been down in some fights. But for the last fight of the card, we have to go with Benoit Saint Denis, the hometown hero, the Frenchman, the knockout artist. I don't care if he got knocked out by Dustin Diamond Poirier last time, okay? That was lucky. He won the first round too. Moicano is not going to knock out Benoit. Okay. Benoit's also, I think, a more powerful and better wrestler than Moicano. Again, there's a reason he's a minus 265 favorite. Look, if you want to go with Money Moicano, he's great on the mic. He's a likable person. He has a podcast. Go with it. All right? I'm not going to be mad at what you do with your money or what you pick. But Benoit Saint Denis is my pick. I'm expecting a knockout here. It's the main event, so it's going to be 5 rounds. I don't see it going longer than 2 or 3. If this does go longer, though, I will say this. I favor Moicano. Because I don't know the gas tank of Benoit. I don't. He doesn't need it because he just knocks everybody out. It's tough, like, you see like Tom Aspinall, right? He gets all these knockouts and you're like, oh, well, what if they take him to the limit and then take him to the extended rounds and longer rounds? He don't need him. He's never fucking needed him. Neither does Benoit, okay? We're looking for a knockout here. His knockout prop's probably going to be like, what, minus 125, minus 130. These props aren't out yet. Oh, look. Nope. His props aren't out yet. They'll come out, maybe 3-4 days before the fights come out and start. So, but the pick is Benoit Saint Denis. Now, there is one fight unannounced. This is Taylor Lapilus fight. I will pick the fight. I'll release the pick on Twitter whenever this fight happens or doesn't, and we will include it in the record. Record's posted in my description and on Twitter. Now, we move on. We're just going to post all the picks here, all right? We're just going to post all the picks here. Oh, man. How do we do this? Oh, here we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. I was doing a little bigger fonts for you guys. So, picks. We got Duncan, Klein, Cornolle. Mix one of those up. I don't care. Barez. Umar Sai. Ian Cutelaba. Ziam. Charriere. Allen. Battle. Brito. Benoit Saint Denis. Okay. So how many fights is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fights. Could be 14 if that Taylor Lapilus fight pops up and happens. So here are the picks. Read it and weep. And we'll move forward to the bets. Our bets section. Where's my mustache? I lost the mustache, guys. Oh, never mind. Found it. All right. To start this off, I don't know why I have the beret mustache on because we're picking an American here. Brendan Allen. Plus 190. 1 unit. I think this line's actually moved up to plus 200. Now, again, these lines, they move and go crazy and sway depending on who puts money and how many bets are placed and what have not. So, yeah, I'm just giving you guys the odds at what I get him at. So, Brendan Allen, plus 190. We got 1 unit there. Next bet, Joe Anderson Brito, plus Benoit Saint Denis. All right, mustache coming off. It's already halfway off anyway. This is going to be a half unit play. We got it at minus 111 at half a unit. I can't put a full, if I could, I'd put a full unit on Brito and Saint Denis, just individual bets, but the line's too high, so this is where we're at with it. But as I was saying, Brito is one of my most confident picks, so we're going to put him in 2 picks and ultimately have 1.5 units on him. We got Brito plus Umar Sai. Umar Sy is another one of my most confident picks. And combining him with Brito, we come out to minus 137, which is not a bad number at all. We'll put 1 unit on it. All right, next bet. Brian Battle. We got him at minus 150. You saw ESPN had minus 160. This line's probably going to move up to minus 180, minus 190. So if you want to get a single bet in on him, now is definitely the time to do it. We got 1 unit on him. Next, Daniel Barez. We got him at minus 135 for half a unit. I actually think this might come closer to a pick'em unless someone puts big money on Barez. So I think it might be in your benefit to wait on that one. Up to you. But Daniel Barez is the pick, minus 135, half a unit. Chris Duncan. Hoping to start the card off with a banger. We got him at plus 185 for half a unit. That line was actually moving up. I said, oh shit, is it going to stop? Then I saw it go down a tad, and I said, okay, we'll pick Chris Duncan at this number. Plus 185, that's essentially 2-1. Nearing the same number I have at Allen. It's not as confident, but I mean, is it as confident? No. Yeah, Brendan Allen's definitely a more confident pick than Chris Duncan, and that's why you can see it in the number there, obviously. Half a unit on Duncan, full unit on Allen. Honestly, if either one of those cashes, we're good. Not good for the whole card, but you know what I mean. Next fight, or next bet, we got Charriere, Perez. We have this at minus 149. Again, not a bad bettable number, and we have 0.75 units on that one. I want to call him Charriere so bad, but that's not how you say it, and I'm so sorry. Morgan Charriere. Charriere. Good bet, safe bet. I believe both of them pull out a win, but you never fucking know. Next bet, we have Ziam. I got him at plus 102. I don't think you're going to find that number anywhere. Again, I'm giving you the number I get it at. Half a unit. Now, originally when I placed this bet, I accidentally put a full unit on it, and I was like, shit, damn it. And I went to the cash out, and I expected it to be, they're always, like, right when you place it, they always, like, give you a cash out for less. And I'm like, gosh, damn. But this time, they gave me the cash out for the same amount. And I'm like, yes. So I cashed out, and I only put half a unit on it. We'll see if I regret that decision or not, since the lines moved. And I got him at plus 102. Nevertheless, though, the pick is Ziam, plus 102, half a unit on that. Couple more picks. Brian Battle plus Perez. We got that at plus 127. And half a unit on that one. 2 confident picks. I like Perez and I like Battle. Have a full unit on Battle. Now I have, it's kind of like the Brito pick, right? Combine them with other ones and hope that, you know, my logic and thinking is right. Then we'll get the cash there. So Battle and Perez plus 127 for half a unit. Our last pick, Benoit Saint Denis and Morgan Charriere. This is a straight French parlay here. We got it at minus 164, so kind of juiced at half a unit. Again, minus like 170 is really the tippy top I would ever do for a single bet. At that point, I need to like start combining it with something to get hopefully a better number or some plus money. But I think the French parlay down there will do us nicely. Now, total risk 6.75 units. If I do add any more picks, I'll let you guys know. If you made it this far in the video, just want to tip my hat off to you. Thank you very much. I would appreciate it if you guys subscribe. Throw me a like on the video. Give me a nice little comment. I'll respond to it. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. We are here to make money, guys. YP. Young Pasty out. Let's get this fucking cash. We're here to screw the books. That's our goal. Screw the books and get us some money in our pockets and have a little fun on the way too. But again, appreciate y'all. Appreciate your time and support. YP out.